What's up everyone, hope you guys are all having a great day today. E3 is finally over. I'd say this E3 was honestly pretty underwhelming. There were no notable press conferences this year other than Microsoft and Nintendo's, and even then, the highlight of Nintendo's show for me was a 2-minute trailer for Breath of the Wild 2. But that's for a video later this week. Basically a few days ago, Microsoft had their showcase for all of their upcoming games, which showed off an in-engine cinematic for Starfield, more of Battlefield 2042, which looks fucking awesome, more gameplay from Back 4 Blood, which is a day one on Game Pass now, and a new IP developed by Bethesda, which looks to be some co-op vampire shooter, which has potential to be really cool. Personally, to me, the highlight of it all was the Halo Infinite segment, which they showed off the multiplayer, which looks fucking awesome, and overall I thought the show was pretty decent. Nothing too groundbreaking, but not bore you to sleep like the Ubisoft press conference. But if you didn't hear from all the screaming and whining on Twitter, Sony wasn't at E3 this year, and the Sony fanboys have nothing to look forward to aside from Horizon Forbidden West. And when Microsoft comes out and announces all this shit, like a bunch of new games coming to Game Pass, Starfield being exclusive to Xbox and PC, and all these other new games, the Sony fanboys have to be on the hardest copium possible since their lord and savior Sony isn't sucking them off like they used to.
I'm a prisoner to PlayStation, because you are a shite company.
So here we are, watching a Sony fanboy cope with the fact that Microsoft had a good press conference for once. Imagine that. Just play the fucking video.
Hi and welcome back. I just finished.
Oh, this is worse than watching a fucking Harmon Smith video. Fuck's sake, at least Harmon Smith doesn't have the massive wall of virginity in the background. 2 seconds into this video, you can already tell this guy has never touched a woman in his life. The fucking anime teddy figures in all the weeb games, like, yeah, I might have a plush of Ellie in the background of my room, but that doesn't signal that I'm a weeb, that just signals that I'm a faggot.
Watching the E3 game conference show from Microsoft for 2021. I kind of had high hopes for it. They have been talking about all their game studios. They have been talking about bringing a lot more games to the Xbox systems and Game Pass, etc. But wow. Basically 80% were shooters.
And basically 80% of Sony's games are over-the-shoulder movie games. I literally don't know what this guy was smoking while watching the stream, but the only shooters I remember them showing were Halo, Battlefield, Outer Worlds, Stalker, and Back 4 Blood. And maybe Starfield and Redfall, but we haven't seen gameplay for either of those games, so we don't really know yet. But you know, not Days Gone, so they're obviously all bad games.
Just shooters. They even ended with a shooter.
And Sony ended their last big show with a fucking logo. I'd say that's a little better than what Sony did.
Holy shit. And they even talked about, yeah, we're working on Elder Scrolls 6, yeah, we're working on a new Fable, yes, we're working on this, we're working on that, but nothing has been shown. I mean, seriously, come on, how much time do you need to let people see a little bit of gameplay?
And Sony hasn't been doing that. We had to wait almost an entire year between the reveal of Horizon Forbidden West and some actual gameplay. Not to mention, we haven't even seen a fucking cinematic trailer for the new God of War yet. And on top of all that, both of these games are supposed to come out in 2021 when we have no clue when they'll be released.
So they did start out really interesting with Starfield, and I'm like, okay, finally, we're gonna see something cool. It was like 20 seconds of nothing saying in-game graphics. Just showing a little bit of graphics. I mean, okay.
And for the big reveal at Sony's conference, they flashed a fucking logo. And that was it.
So Starfield has been announced, I think like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and that's the only thing they can show? Wow. Same goes with Halo Infinite. It definitely looked a lot better than last year. And the online mode will be free to play. Okay, that's pretty cool. And there's going to be campaign mode. I mean, that's pretty cool, but a shooter, another shooter.
Is he really complaining about Halo being a fucking shooter? What does he want it to be? A clone of another game but dumbed down to the point where it's literally just a movie?
The only game I was really impressed with, to be honest, was Diablo 2. No, I'm joking. That was Forza Horizon 5. Now that game looked really cool. At least that's not really right. I mean, it looked really good. But open world race game. I'm kind of more of the Gran Turismo, just racing. That's
Of course you are, because Sony is your lord and savior.
it. You know, I'm not a huge fan of racing myself, but I do like arcade racers and Gran Turismo once in a while, etc. So, to be honest, I am extremely disappointed. Extremely disappointed. They did not sway me to get the Game Pass. They did not sway me to get an Xbox Series X.
Cause you're a fucking Sony fanboy and you're not gonna break.
And basically, they're giving Sony and Nintendo almost another free pass for a couple of years to definitely do a lot better, hopefully. I mean, Sony has been doing pretty okay. You know, Demon's Souls, Spider-Man, Returnal, that's a new IP, seems to be selling pretty well and has been received pretty well. The new Ratchet & Clank seems to be fantastic. I have heard that...
I wouldn't go that far, especially when the description of Ratchet & Clank is literally just an ad for the PS5 controller.
There is a pretty big patch you need to download, and if you don't do that, then the game is kind of buggy. I'm not entirely sure if that's like a huge thing or it's just a little buggy, but that's kind of disappointing. Really makes me get less and less interested in next gen in the perspective of a game collector who loves to collect games. All in all, this was laughable bad. This was laughable bad. 80% were like shooters.
Again, there were like five shooters.
But I guess Microsoft wanted to go that way. Leave it in the comments below. What did you think of the Microsoft E3 2021 game conference? And like, share, comment, and subscribe. And like always, you gotta see me next time.
Well, everyone, if there's anything you take out of this, it's that Microsoft conference wasn't bad because they filled it up with too many shitty indie games that nobody cared about, but it's because they didn't show enough Days Gone in their show. I'm sure if they put up a few trailers showing what the story was like for the Doom Eternal RTX patch, it would have been a lot better. And it's funny too, because again, I do kind of think the show was a little underwhelming. Not terrible like how this guy was saying, but they could have at the very least showed like some gameplay for Starfield or something. If it's like apparently a year away like they say, they should have been able to show some gameplay. But overall, again, E3 was okay, not as bad as last year. But anyways, I'll have a video out on the rest of E3 later this week, but yeah, fuck off.